Hey all, welcome back. Naresh here. Hope you all doing very good. And I came up with another video in this today. So I would like to give a story. So a few days back, I was talking to one of my friend. He is working on a front end, and he's very much interested into moving into the data science. Then he asked me like, I'm learning the Spark, and he said that I'm able to read and write the Spark for the local file system that is in my machine. He wanted an experience like how he can write the data to an object store like AWS S3 or GCP buckets. He asked me like, how can I get a hands-on experience with my Spark running in my local, interacting with these storage systems, object storage systems. And definitely having an AWS account and then creating a bucket, storing your data is definitely will cost you some money. And for some reason, if you forget that, removing the data, then it will keep on costing us. It even though it's a small, but we can still avoid that one. So I explored a little bit. Then I found out that there is a product, a company called Minio, that is providing a product object store or object storage where you can run it in your local, and that object store is compliant with the AWS S3 APIs. So then I thought of, okay, let's get run it in my local and build a data lake. So that's why I am coming up with today concept of building a data lake in our local machine. So with this, you don't need to pay for sign up for any AWS account or anything. In your local itself, you can create a S3 storage and put a data, read the data from the S3 storage, write the data from the S3 storage, and also you can create the buckets, load the data. All these things using the Spark, we can do that one. So to do that one, so we need to deploy this Docker image into our machine. So for that one, we need to have a Docker desktop in our machine, in our local machine. Most of us will have a Windows, right? So you can go to the Docker and you can download the Docker image so that you can okay, let me show you. Yeah, here is the Docker image for the link where you can go and download the Docker image for your different environment and run it in your local. So that when you run it, that one, it will create a Docker desktop in your local so that you can have the Docker. When you start it, it will start the Docker desktop in your local machine. So with this, you are ready to run the Docker image provided by the Minio, and to try out your local data lake in your machines. So for that one, it requires a one YAML file. So here is the YAML file. I have it. Docker Compose YAML file. You need to have it. So here is the Minio section. I have added the host name and the image name. This is the Minio Docker image provided by the um, Minio system. So and then I have naming as my container Docker run as a container, right? So I gave a container name, and then I'm porting like in my machine. If I try to hit the 9095 port, it should forward to the 900 that is where the Minio service is running. And also I'm trying to put the to log into that system, I need to have a user ID, access, secret key and access key. So I'm passing those secret key access key in my um, mm, in the environment variable. So this Docker image will use these credentials to spin up that Minio, and then we can use these credentials to log into that Docker, the Minio object storage, and then we can create the buckets and load the data. So this is the code I'm going to share in the description of the link. This is a Bitbucket, and once you download the data, you will have a under the resources section there is a folder called the Docker environment setup Minio data lake. So if you go and open this one, you will find this YAML file. So there are some other YAM entries are there. Those are relevant, but right now we are not going to use them in this demo. So we are just interested in the Minio. So just pay attention to this Minio. Okay, having said that one, so I have this file in my machine. So I am going to the location where my Docker file is here. So I can simply run the command because already the Docker desktop is running in my machine. So when I go and try to run the Docker Compose up, it will start that Minio service. Let's see that it was trying to start. There are some other services getting containers are getting started, but we can ignore them for now. So if I come to the Docker desktop and see that one, yeah, as you see that it's a Minio is get started. Minio container is Minio 01 container was started, and it is having a link. So if I click on this link, it will take me to the login screen. So in my local, I'm trying to hit this 9095, but it was taking me to the Minio container where it is running. And then, as we mentioned, we configure the user ID as secret key and access key, right? So I have to give the secret key and access key here so that it will allow me to log in. So yeah, now we are logged into this machine. So that means that object storage service is up and running in our machine. So if you wanted to create a bucket, then we can go and create. There is a plus button. We can go and create a bucket. These are two buttons like the upload file and create bucket. Let's create some bucket. So let me give some bucket name as my data lake. Like the first data lake bucket. So let's give that one. So we can do this one so that it's created the bucket. So in this bucket we have this data, right? So we can if you wanted to upload some files into this bucket, we can simply do that one. So to do that one, what we can do is upload a file and assume that I wanted to run this summary report. So I was successfully able to upload the data into this bucket. I have the different buckets here. You can see them. So this is the bucket I have uploaded it. Okay. So with this, you are ready to you have your object storage is running, and you created one bucket, and you have some test file also here. So let's we go and run a Spark job that will connect to this object storage and read from the data from this object storage and write to this object storage. So for that one, I in the same code uh, in the same code base, you have a Java class called Apache Spark Hoodie. So I have configured I am reading the data from a bucket and then writing the data to some other bucket. So let's review this configuration. So these are the standard configuration to run the Spark in our local. And then here I need to have some secret key and access key because I am trying to connect to the object store, right, those credentials, and I'm putting some time out, and that object store is running at this location, and this is the this IP address is my local IP address, and this is the port is the where uh, the container, the Minios container is running. So I we mentioned that one. So those mentions we need to put it, and then this is a configuration that required for us to the file storage implementation. If you are connecting to the S3, then we need to specify all these class names. So these are the standard configurations, and then we have to set these all these configuration that is required for connecting to any object store. So this same code base, right, you have it, right, you can take it and you can run it the same code base work for the even for the AWS S3 buckets also. All we need to change is this endpoint and this access key and secret key that is specific to the AWS. So that means we can simply prototype our Spark job in our local and try it out before we actually doing the deployment in the real cloud environment. So that's about the some of the configuration we have to set it. And then we have so in this example I'm going to write a hoodie table. So for this one what I'm doing is I'm trying to read the data from the bucket that is called the sales. Under the sales bucket I have the file uh, summary updated, like the sales summary updated, some Parquet file is there. So I'm trying to read that bucket, and then I'm trying to write the data into a data as another a bucket that's called the hoodie data bucket and the under the folder called the test folder or key. So let's see if this is going to do that one. So before that one, let me go and clean up this data so that we can see that one. Yeah, I have the sales data. Here is in a Parquet file. I have an hoodie data, but I don't have any data here. So let's run and see that if it is going to create any data, writing any data. I'm just running it. It's going through. Yeah, it's completed. So if we refresh this location, yes, it was data is written. So just now the data is written. Uh, 408. So that's what we mentioned in our right path. So the hoodie data and test under the test directory, it's created these files. So this is how you can run, you can set up your local data lake and try out your Spark jobs to run from your desktop without incurring any cloud costs. So hope you like this video. I'll come up with another video with another new concept. See you until then. See you. Bye bye.